Hey guys, Rocky here, and I'm back with another pick a card reading. Today we're doing Who Are You Going to Marry? All right, so this is going to be a brief overview of who they are. We'll try to pick up, where you might meet them, any other details we can get. This is pile number 1, 2, and 3. Take a moment, see which one resonates most. There may be more than one, and we'll jump right in. All right, guys, if you chose pile number 1, then this is your reading, and you chose the stone right here. All right, wow, we pulled the King of Swords twice in this, so I'm gonna say that they're an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There's something about the kiss I'm getting that's gonna tell you quite a bit. They feel confident and forward, but they won't necessarily be fast. So they may not come directly at you. They seem to be a little careful with their words, it seems. So this is somebody who they may be, let's see here. Okay. I feel like they so really the way to get to them is through their mind. And so a lot of responses are probably more thought out than you realize, and they're also analyzing what you say, and not to kind of get in your head about it, but it's just one of those things where, I wouldn't, if they don't respond right away, or there's like gaps or it feels slow, I wouldn't take that as they're not interested. This pile feels like they really take their time with you. And so this isn't something that would be a rushed situation. I also get that they would ask their friends what they think of you. This is something that they don't, in a sense, it's a good sign because it's not like they just date anyone and they're not going to just lead you on. So they feel very direct and take their time. They could be blonde is what I'm getting. They don't have to be. Some of them could be of Scandinavian descent, or maybe you have that in your bloodline. There may be something about their nose. It feels like a nice nose, but it may be a strong feature. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a nice nose, but just kind of a strong feature. Maybe even their jaw, chin area is just maybe more pronounced, or there's just something about it. So like I said, they may not be, they could be of European descent or something like that, or just from a different background than you have. Some of them are into law, is what I'm getting. They may do this for work, or they have a lot of knowledge on this kind of stuff for work. I want to say the second you start dreaming about this person is going to be a very good sign. And they like to be, in a sense, in control of the pace of the connection. So this isn't somebody that I would necessarily rush. Some of them could travel a lot for work. They may have a sweet tooth is what I'm getting. And if they're not in law or anything like that, this person could, for some of them, just have extremely strong values is what I'm getting. And I feel like this is somebody who would really keep their word. So if they tell you they're going to do something, they're going to do it. Yeah, they're on the dreams. I would really say that the second you start dreaming about this person, that's a good sign. And it may not happen right away, so I wouldn't get discouraged. One of you or both of you may like to run or be active. I'm getting something about that. They like to know what you think. They like to pick your brain. They like the way your mind works. So that would make a lot of sense if they are, in fact, an air sign, or they have strong air in their chart. A huge sign they like you is they will give you something. So it doesn't need to be big. It can be small. could be, I don't know, it could be chocolate. It could be anything that even you may question, does this mean something? But it does. We have the Justice card here 3 times, so I don't know what that will mean for each of you. For some of you, they could have really gone through a divorce. But it just seems like also for some of them, they may just be going through some big life changes. Some of them may be moving and changing a lot of things related to, you know, their driver's license and where, you know, where they reside. So let's say they're in New York, right? And then they come to California, then they're going to have to change everything. And, you know, what could be being picked up here is certain documents and things. Let's say they rent an apartment, right? Like getting a new lease, you know, just kind of all those practical things that involve, you know, lots of paperwork, stuff like that. This person seems good with money. They have a good knack for making money, or they really understand finances. They could do, that could be part of their line of work. For some of you, you've been separated from this person for a while and you actually know them, and they never thought that you guys would be able to come back around to each other. But for some of you, a very strong message here is that you're destined to come back together. And this may be a huge surprise to both of you. This person, off the bat, will be very drawn to you. I get the World again. So, and the Moon. So there's a lot hidden, and I'm really getting a distance for most of you. They're coming, or you, let's say you meet at work, you haven't met yet, right? And let's say you meet at work or school, or just somehow by chance, and you know, they're not from your area is what the general idea is. And for some of you, this won't be necessarily a super recent move. Like, let's say they lived somewhere else a few years ago, they come here, you meet them, and you find out that they're just not originally from here. So that is possible too. It doesn't have to be like a current move. But I would say something that's not super long ago. I'm not picking up something here that's like 10 years ago, you know? It's more, I mean, it could be, but I'm just getting something a little more recent. Some of you might feel stagnant in love, but what I'm getting is, especially with this Wheel of Fortune here, things are going to start turning around, and they'll probably turn around pretty quickly. So you go from nothing to just, you know, possibly a lot of movement. Oh my gosh, we pulled the King of Swords again in this deck. That's crazy. Okay, some of you, I'm getting Scorpio here. And what else? Some of you may have questioned, if you already know this person, some of you may have questioned your gut on them, but just know that your gut was right. So you may have been torn like yes, no, but I'm also getting Virgo, but you want to follow your gut. And your true gut, right, because you may be feeling confused, is that this person's coming back, and that would be accurate. I don't know if this person gets sick a lot. It's likely due to stress, or one of you does due to stress, is what I'm getting, is you just kind of, you know, somebody kind of runs themselves down. I'm picking up a dinner party for some of you, very specific detail, but there's something about potentially attending a dinner party with this person, or you meet at a dinner party. There's a strong pull here, but it seems like the way this person picks someone is a little on the practical side, but yet there's like this build to it. So It's like, even though they kind of lead with their mind, it starts maybe small and then it just turns into this massively passionate pull. There's just going to be a very strong connection here, but it could take a while before you feel that boom, right? Like that big spark. It doesn't, like with this person, what I'm getting is they tend to really hold back their feelings. They're very protective of their feelings and probably a bit guarded. And what I'm getting is that with time, and maybe even when you met this person, they didn't strike you as somebody you'd end up with, right? So this may have been somebody that you're thinking, okay, like they're okay, but it's not some love at first sight situation. I'm getting a very slow burn with this, but then it booms. So it's kind of like, it seems like nothing on the surface, and then it just grows. Very random, but I'm getting cereal. So I don't know if this person is a big fan of cereal. That's a small clue for some of you. They love cereal. Not all of them, but for some of you, that's an important detail that might resonate. They seem a little stubborn too, so they may not totally be open to certain things off the bat, but they're the kind of person that will think about it and then later they come back around and say, okay, you were right, something like that. They're flexible. Yeah, so this person doesn't feel super stubborn. This is the kind of person that they can come off stubborn, but they're not difficult to mold in terms of, them maybe changing a point of view or kind of more seeing your side, I should say. So there's someone who's open to, either agree to disagree or kind of see your side of the story too. I feel this is an important message for some of you. Some of you may be a little hard on yourself about, maybe at times you feel like love is a fairy tale, or that maybe you live too pie in the sky over things, and maybe you're a little hard on yourself, or maybe you've even gotten feedback that you should be a little more realistic or practical, whatever it may be. What I'm getting is to not change yourself, to believe in love, believe in magic, believe in all those pie in the sky things. Like, it's okay, because I see that you have a sense of staying grounded. It's not like you let yourself run away with those things, but I think it's very important to kind of have this, what is that? Hope springs eternal kind of vibe, it's just kind of that, always hoping and believing in the best, right? Like, anything can happen. Always keep that. I think it's so important. And what's that quote? Like, if you aim for the moon, something, you'll land among the stars. Something like that. I'm butchering it, but you know what I mean. Essentially, even if you don't make it to the moon, then you land among the stars, and that's not a bad place to be at all. It's a very beautiful place to be. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you guys so much, as always. Please comment below, even if it's just an emoji, to say hi. I love to hear from you, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose pile number 2, then this is your reading, and you chose this stone right here. So let's see, who are you going to marry? King of Cups, 3 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Okay. A very strong message. For some of you, this is somebody that you have known for a long time, or your childhood friends. That won't be for everyone. For some of you, this is a King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it does feel like somebody that you may have known for a while. So they have these feelings that they're not expressing. somebody I feel struggles with anxiety or depression. For some of you, you could have lost your virginity to this person, or you will. There just seems to be a history here. So for a lot of you that chose this pile, there definitely feels like there's some kind of history. If that is not the case, it can also feel that you've known this person for a while, or the story is complicated. So let's say you met this person, even if it's just a year ago, or from the time you meet, it could take a year, right? But then there's all these complicated scenarios that happen in between that make it feel like a bunch of time packed into a short amount of time. So that could really be a potential here. I'm getting something about a book and or someone likes to read. This person could have had to make a choice between two people, or their career in you, or something like that. This person could be kind of a commitment phobe, or somebody that just, they prefer to be single, is kind of how it feels. They could have dated a lot. We do have some King of Wands energy. They could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but it's also just kind of, it can be kind of a player card. So they may come off this way. They may not be that way deep down. I'm not really getting that with this person, but they could have gone through that, or gone through that phase. And by the time they're ready for love, or ready to come towards you properly, it's like they could have messed things up pretty badly in between all that. So this story feels complicated, to be honest. So with this person, I think your person is not, it's not going to be straightforward. This could be complicated. And for some of you, it may even feel like, why is this my person? But you know, it could be a very karmic connection. You guys could be twin flames. I mean, those connections are often really tumultuous. They're not easy. And it's definitely not your textbook fairy tale, like, you know, we had love at first sight and then happily ever after and everything was so easy. Like, I don't know that that's very common for many people, but but it's not going to be one of those, you know, scenarios from what I'm getting for this pile. I just feel like you might get really frustrated with this person. I think this is someone who, they could be very in and out of your life. They may be, you know, I want you, no I don't, or I don't know what I want, and they could come off like this. They could, like I said, be juggling. I'm kind of getting that vibe here. And so this kind of feels like a scenario where, like, deep down, I feel like this person is actually a big softie, and I think what's frustrating is that it just seems like they're putting blocks to love, and they're making it way more complicated than it needs to be, is what I'm getting. So it really doesn't need to be this hard, but they're making it very difficult. I think this could be somebody that you may even be suspicious of, and you're like, I don't even know that I can trust you, but you know, this just seems to be somebody, they're very King of Cups with you. Very King of Cups. So they have a lot of emotion and feeling, but it's almost like they don't act how they feel. So they tend to act completely opposite of how they feel as a way to mask their emotions. It's funny because this person seems to want the traditional, you know, I want a family, or if that's not even the case, just I want a partnership, like a real monogamous partnership. But it just feels like the way that they come at it would fool anyone, because it just kind of seems like the way that they're coming at it is completely opposite of that. But Like I said, I feel that it's due to a lot of either childhood wounds or being jaded in love, and it's just kind of their protective mechanism. They seem childlike, so, I mean, you may get frustrated with this behavior sometimes because I think, you know, they can either tend to make light of things, or just the way they handle things is not how you would handle them. You know, that's for sure. I'm getting that you're very, you know, you're much further along in your journey, and just the way you handle things is much different. And this is probably a huge draw that they have towards you as well, because you have a lot of the things that they are aware they lack. But in a sense, you know, they may have this childlike way to them that may be a bit more adventurous and may, you know, be a good addition to you. So I'm getting this kind of seems to be opposites attract situation, and although frustrating, you know, this person could really help you in ways and you help them in ways. But I think it's kind of getting beneath their core exterior and really getting to that soft part of them, you know, which I think is tricky because they do put a lot of walls up. They really think the world of you. This is what I'm getting. But they could have taken the connection for granted, or they will if this hasn't all unfolded yet. I feel like somebody likes light colors, kind of happy colors like yellow, oranges, things like that. That won't resonate for everyone, but yeah, this person really could struggle with depression is what I'm getting. Someone does. I'm really picking this up. 5 of Cups. There's something about your presence, though. I think it really helps brighten them up. It balances them out. You may be a Libra. We do have Queen of Swords here. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It's like you have a specific way of dealing with them. You get them, whereas I don't think everyone does, and maybe even vice versa. I'm getting some of you really thought you'd never find love, but it's coming, or it has arrived, one of the two, but it's a journey. That's what I'm getting with this one. It's a journey, but it's well worth it. The Fool. So I think as a piece of advice to get your 9 of Cups, let go. Just leap. Don't think about it. Just follow your heart. Don't worry about getting hurt, things like that. Like, I'm a big proponent of seeing things through. It's not about being, you know, taken advantage of or not having standards. That's always important. But in terms of, you know, trying to control a situation or being afraid that you're going to get hurt, so you hold back too much, you know, kind of, you'll be able to read the situation, match their effort, and kind of figure out, you know, is this worth my time? But what I'm getting here is that this is quite the beginning. It's not going to be straightforward, and you'll recognize it when you see it. Your gut is going to know. But I think there may be a need on both of your part to open up more. I think you both can tend to get a little guarded. You've probably both been through quite a bit in love, and it's hard not to get a little scarred from those things, you know? Okay, those are the core messages that I'm getting for your person. And like I said, not straightforward. Their sign is a little iffy for me, but I would lean toward earth or fire. And this person, I feel like they alternate between being very fiery, action-oriented, then being very, you know, pentacle-y, then being very airy, and then they may just cut you off. And, you know, I'm just kind of getting a mixed bag with this person. It does feel like a confusing connection, and something that could be a little on and off before it takes off. So that is what I'm getting. I truly hope that helps give you a little insight. And please drop a comment below. I love hearing from you, even if it's just an emoji to say hi. And I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye. All right, guys, if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading, and you chose this stone right here. So let's see, who are you going to marry? Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit, 4 of Swords, Knight of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, Emperor, Knight of Cups. Okay. So off the bat, I think with the Wheel of Fortune here so much, just the vibe I'm getting is that you may meet this person at a very divine time. So it could be a chance meeting is what I'm getting. And if not, then there was a scenario that brought you two together that was pretty divine and maybe a little unusual. So you'll know it when you see it. But I'm also getting the letter D. D as in David. This could be, the first letter of a first, middle, or last name. It feels like one of you are a little bit, you kind of stick to yourself, so a little bit introverted. I'm getting this more so on their part, but it could be on your part as well. For some of you, it feels like there could have been a friend or someone involved that kind of tried to taint the relationship. So there could be some jealousy surrounding this connection. That won't be for everyone, but for some of you, I do feel that there's some jealousy surrounding this. For some of you, this person is at a distance, or they might travel a lot, but I'm getting that they could be at a distance. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh my gosh. And then the Queen of Swords just flew out. So you could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For some of you, you haven't spoken in a while. So you may already know this person. Wheel of Fortune again, King of Pentacles again, the Empress. It feels like some of them need to get something off their chest, or they need to apologize, come clean about something. You may be a little surprised to hear from this person if there is a history here. There was some kind of decision that needed to be made. I don't know what this will be for each of you, but the Two of Swords is here twice, so it kind of feels like they had some kind of decision to make. It doesn't need to be another person per se that they were deciding about, or, this could even be, let's say, I don't know. It'll really vary. I mean, they could have, been getting out of a marriage. There could be something else that they're just kind of dealing with, and that they had to make some tough life decisions over. It could be, a job. It could be anything. But it just seems like there was some form of a holdup, or will be some form of a holdup in terms of you guys coming together. Some of them have 2 kids. That won't be for everyone, but some of them do. I really get that some of you thought you'd never find love, but You know, this is really similar to pile 2. I'm not gonna lie. So if this is resonating at all, I would probably check out number 2, because there will be more info in that pile, because these are very similar. This person, I'm getting some King of Swords vibe here. They could have cut you off. This does feel like a little bit of a complicated connection, which is also why I feel this is very similar to pile 2, because that was something very karmic. They could have made a tough decision to walk away from you for a while, or will need to make that decision. And this is something that likely won't be a straightforward connection. So there's probably a lot of karma at play here, a lot of things. Somebody may be involved in bringing you guys back together, is what I'm getting, whether that's advice or advice to them to circle back to you, or just some kind of divine meeting, the universe bringing you guys back in each other's lives again. There's just, a lot of divine things happening. But they're very King of Wands. So if they're not a fire sign, or even if they are, it's something that, you may see some action from this person after a period of inaction. This person will feel that you guys divinely met, though, in some way. Like, you guys were supposed to come into each other's lives. You crossed each other. Sorry guys, the video cut out, but essentially they will feel like you guys crossed each other's paths for a reason. So this is probably something they'll verbalize to you, that they will say. I'm getting the sign Sagittarius right now. This honestly feels like somebody who could hold back, and, hide feelings from you and not totally come forward and be honest. And then out of nowhere, they just kind of decide to take a leap of faith and go for it. So it just seems like they're a little bit all or nothing in the connection. So they're either super guarded and withholding for a while, and then they'll reach this point in the connection, and this, like I said, could be after a separation, it could be anything, and then they come blazing forward and completely open and like a new person, and you're just thinking, what is going on? This is totally different from your initial approach. So this person, they feel very much like they've put a lot of blocks to love, and that's going to be a huge clue, but you're going to feel a very strong connection with them. And then after some time of healing and growth, they should everything should start clicking, and then they will come forward in this new way and not holding back anymore. I'm not saying it'll be perfect. This does feel like a very karmic, maybe even twin flame kind of journey, but you will definitely feel this extremely strong pull. And it honestly, if it's not straightforward and kind of messy, that's probably a huge clue that this could very well be your person. So like I said, though, you always want to maintain boundaries and a standard. And if they're disrespectful in any way, like, that's not your person. This should be somebody that, it doesn't mean that they haven't, messed up or done things that maybe were a little bit, you're thinking, I don't know that this is right, it's hard to explain. It's just kind of a knowing I feel that you'll have, and essentially this is somebody who the good outweighs the bad, and at the end of the day, all of this karma is teaching you both lessons, and you can grow and learn from these experiences, and then come together and continue on that journey. So I really hope that's helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please drop a comment below. I love hearing from you, and I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.